Ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring up now Rich Worley from American Biker, Charleston, South Carolina. So, how are you?
Fabulous.
Oh man, I tell you, I know that was brutal. I hate having the warm-up acts.
I gotta follow those guys.
Yeah, I know. It's like having
happened
the
to our
Rolling
chairs?
Stones on, right before the local high school band, whatever, man. So, no, now, Rich, you're from Charleston, South Carolina. You've come a long way.
Yes, it is a lot warmer in Charleston, South Carolina as well. I'm not
I
quite
hear that.
used to this.
I know. I hear that it's warmer too. We've had another girl, Shalina's from California. She's been complaining about the weather here as well. Now, what did you bring to the show?
This time I brought a 2016 Indian Scout that I built for a Factory Indian Motorcycle sponsored contest. They invited 34 dealers nationwide to compete in this Indian contest. Judging ends on the 19th of this month as well. So.
Okay, that's pretty cool. So how did you get into that? How did Indian find you for the
Well,
Scout?
I'm an Indian Victory Polaris slingshot dealer. I kind of, like some of the other guys, that's really my main gig, is running the motorcycle shop, doing services and sales. The bikes I build and stuff, it's at my house, in my garage. It's kind of a side thing. I don't really do it for the money. I do it because I love doing it.
Yeah, because you've told me in the past that when you're at the shop, it's all about taking care of customers and doing service
business.
work, and
Yeah.
it's business. And so, but you really keep your bike building, your custom work, completely separate from that.
Completely separate. When I'm at the shop, I'm running the shop, I'm running the business, I'm paying bills, dealing with customers. When I'm building, I want to be completely away from that. I don't want to be bothered. I want to kind of get in the zone, do what I want to do, enjoy it, focus on it, and just get it done.
Yeah. Now, you've got a great story. How did you end up with your shop that you have?
Well, went to college, had an amazing time in college. I wish I could go back for the 2 years that I was there. Got to the
Doesn't
point.
it take 4 years to graduate?
Yeah, I didn't graduate.
Oh.
But like I said, I had an amazing time.
Great time.
I
I'm
learned
sure.
a lot. I didn't really study a whole lot, but I learned a lot. But went to college for 2 years after high school. Really didn't know what I wanted to do. Couldn't figure out a major. And my dad was like, well, what do you love more than anything? I'm like, motorcycles. He's like, well, go to motorcycle mechanic school. I'm like, all right, sounds good to me. He's like, even if you don't do anything with that, at least you'll be able to fix your own bikes for the rest of your life and you'll save some money. So
There you go.
ended up going to MMI in Orlando, then AMI in Daytona. Moved back to Charleston and started working for this little small motorcycle shop with these two guys that ran it. I was a mechanic, then did some sales work, kind of worked all around the shop, and they ended up not wanting the shop anymore. The shop wasn't doing so well, so ended up buying it, which is...
That's a classic motorcycle move. The shop's going out of business.
The shop's going out of
I'll
business.
buy it.
Let me buy it.
Yeah,
Great
so-
idea. Great business move.
Great business decision.
Luckily for me, it kind of turned out all right.
Yeah, it
so.
worked out good. Yeah.
And then ran that shop for a couple of years, and then bought a piece of land off the interstate and built my own shop. And we did a lot of used Harleys. That was really where the money was. We picked up Victory, and then we picked up Indian once Polaris bought it. And then we do the Polaris side by sides and the new Slingshot that everybody's seen. We sell those. So. But that's what I do. Just run the shop and build bikes on the side.
Build bikes. So, how long have you had the shop now? I mean, that's been
It's been about 10 years now.
About 10-year journey for you. And we were talking to these other guys. It's hard. How do you feel about the motorcycle industry right now? As far as, I mean, as a business owner, are these good times? Are they lean times? I mean,
they're getting better than 4 years ago.
Yeah.
When the whole housing market went down, we were a big dog dealer back in the day.
Oh.
And we used to do really well with big dog, and then all of a sudden, that pretty much tanked.
Yeah.
And the whole motorcycle industry in the whole really, it got really tough. Things are starting to slowly kind of come back. It's steady and it's steadily rising. We're not killing it like we used to be yet, but hopefully get through this election year and hopefully somebody's going to get this economy going again.
Yeah, boost the economy a little bit. I kind of screwed the pooch on that with all the custom bikes. When me and a guy named Mike Page, I was on the East Coast, he was on the West Coast. We were in Idaho at Q's Customs, and that cat was a Big Bear dealer. And Mike and I were sitting there at his open house trying to figure out how to sell bikes, and this farmer came in and he said, I don't have any money. He said, I don't think they're going to finance another vehicle for me at the bank. And I looked at him and I said, do you owe anything on your house? I mean, you've got any equity in your house? He said, oh, I own all my property. That's paid off, been paid off for years. I said, why don't you just call the bank and see if they'll give you a line of credit on your house? And they did. He bought a $60,000 motorcycle. And so we went around the country saying, why don't you get a line of credit? You can deduct the interest. So when that housing market burst, I facilitated that.
You were the problem?
That
was your fault?
I was the disease, not the cure. I got to admit, Mike and I came up with a great idea that didn't work out so well in the end.
Now I know who to blame.
Yeah, but well, fortunately, when it burst, so did my bank account. So I mean, all my money went away too. But so now, when you get ready to build a bike, how does your creative process work? I mean, do you, some guys I know will look at an SU carburetor and build the whole bike around that. How do you get into your idea about that?
Normally when I start something, I have a general idea of what I want to build. And when I finish, it is absolutely nothing like what I thought it would be when I started with. Yeah. And normally I'll start something, and it can be one piece, one part that inspires me to kind of run with that theme for the whole motorcycle. This year I brought the 2016 Indian. It's the first time I've ever built a bike that is fuel injected and brand new. It's not really my deal. I'm kind of a...
What do you do with the wires and the computers?
Oh, man, I was so nervous. I had to knock the dust off all my metric tools for it. But normally I like to do panhead, shovelhead, kind of the older Harley stuff. And I'm a huge antique fan. If you ever come to the shop, which I hope you guys will come visit American Biker sometimes, I can't pass a yard sale, an antique store, or anything like that without stopping. So I always go into these antique stores and I like these old, cool pieces that you find that, they don't make anymore. Like, a lot of the stuff now is just, plastic junk.
Yeah.
Back in the day, back in the 50s, even like, when they would make like an apple peeler.
Yeah.
It's the coolest little thing. It's got all these gears, and it's just, you just sit there and look at how this little apple peeler works.
Well, and the way they, because when they cast it, they could just cast a simple piece that'll work, but they actually took the time to make it artistic.
It's the mechanical little old school pieces like that just kind of just spark an idea or a thought, and then just take that and just kind of run with it throughout the bike.
Because the Indian that you brought here, you've patinaed pretty nice. How did you paint with that?
Yeah, I did a patina paint job on that. I kind of wanted to give the bike, make it look like it was an old Indian from the 50s. So painted it in 3 different layers, and then you just kind of sit there and sand on it until you see the different colors come through. It's called patina paint job. Basically, it's a new paint job that looks like an old paint job.
Yeah. Now, if there's we're going to wind up here soon because I know it's almost drink 30, but I mean, I know you've been drinking all day.
I've been drinking all day.
It's drink 30 for me. I've only been drinking this afternoon.
This is like vacation for me.
But if there's a young guy out there, maybe just got out of MMI or something, and he really hungry about wanting his own shop, wants to do that full time, what advice would you give him?
Man, hang in there because it's tough.
Do something else? No.
No, because if that's what you want to do, then go with it. Because if you're doing what you love, you'll always enjoy it. But the motorcycle industry, trying to start off in the bike industry and trying to make money at it, it's actually a very difficult business to be in.
Yeah.
So just don't get discouraged. Just keep going. Just work hard, and as long as you love what you're doing and you're working hard at it, you'll be successsul.
Yeah. Well, and there's 2 schools of way to do it. I know that All Star is here. And there's 2 ways. One way is you grunt it out. You're just like, oh God. The other way is you make a lot of money and you find some other guys that made a lot of money, and then you come into it with a lot of money. Because the old adage is, if you want to make $10 million in the motorcycle business, start with 20. And, you'll whittle it down to 10 in no time. So I like to dispel the myth that, guys that are building these bikes, all those TV shows, nobody got paid for those. The only people that ever make money off those things are people selling laundry detergent.
Yeah, the commercials.
Yeah, I mean, so the bike builders, it looks like all rock star, rock and roll lifestyle, but it's a lot of literal blood, sweat, and tears that goes in.
A lot of long hours in the garage.
Yeah, man, it's a brutal life. So, but Rich, I appreciate you bringing the bike out. I appreciate you coming all the way from Charleston, South Carolina, and being here with me. It's good to know you.
Always a good time.
Oh, always a good time. Ladies and gentlemen, Rich Worley.
Thank you.
American Biker. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, that does it.